Hey, what is up, everybody? This is your boy AJTRIP, and welcome to AJTRIP's Video Game Talk, as we are going to review EA Sports College Football 26. It came out for people who pre-ordered the game last Monday, and it came out for those who did not order it just this past weekend. So I pre-ordered it, so I got it last Monday, and I have had a about a week to play it, and I can tell you that this game is amazing. They have improved on what this game was last year several folds. I'm gonna give you some of the things that I see from a positive standpoint. I'm also gonna talk about some of the things that, and there's nothing too negative that I have to say about this game. If you look at the thumbnail, you can see I've given you my record already. It's 4 3/4 stars. If they improve on the stuff that I think they need to improve on, this could be a 5-star game. Now, you're going to see and hear things online that say that this game is trash and that this game is the same game. Well, for those idiots out there who believe that, this game should be the same. It should play the same. It should be the same. There's nothing about the way that it played or it looked that needed to be fixed. Some of the ancillary things, some of the things that make it, things like just off the side, as we saw in some of the deep dive videos or the trailers, like being able to come up showing that you've broken a record, for single game or season game or even career records. It's kind of nice. Having the sub menu come up on the field. That's nice. It just added on to the flavor of this game. And I think this is, and to sit here and say that this game is awful, I think it's you need to play another game, because obviously this game is not for you. Madden is not for you. Sports College Football is not for you. Any sports games is not for you if you expect it to change year to year when it doesn't need to. It just needs to improve on some of the things that it does. And hopefully the next year, College Football 27 will do the things that it needs to improve on to make it the perfect game. But we're talking about that next year. College Football 26. Let's talk about it now. Now, like I said, it's the same game as last year, but improvements. They've improved stuff like the wear and tear, and they've combined the wear and tear with the auto subs. So now you can set the sliders for not only fatigue, but also the wear and tear. And I think that's a great one. You can, that's a great addition to this game. I had tons of fun. Some other things, they've improved the snow. The snow is the way the flakes fall and how it looks. It's incredible how the snow looks on this game. I think that the snow kind of does still. It's not like last year where you could play an entire game and the entire middle of the field would be gone. It's not like that, but still, I kind of think that if it's constantly snowing, then it should be constantly like refilling. Like they got the thing where they got like the lines, so that the yard lines, things like that. But that should be starting to get filled in. If it should be getting filled in through the quarters, and then once the quarter end, then the guys come back out and they blow the so that you can see the lines. Sometimes it does that, sometimes it doesn't do that, but those should still be filled in. So that's a little bit of a thing. You know, I've seen some stuff online about being, you know, it's kind of difficult to snap, and I can see that. That's kind of an issue. Yeah, obviously more of an issue because if you can't hike the ball, you can't play the game. Um, but yeah, you should be able, but you gotta press it like a couple times, and especially if you're doing something with motion or double motion, you know, that can be a bit of a you know, backhand thing, right? That could be a bit of a problem. So they'll need to fix that. I think that's something they can fix doing with a thing, with a thing, an update, a patch update. I've always you know, this is something going back from last year that I think, you know, it's fixed this year. Like, you know, when you're in dynasty mode, you go to dynasty. For some reason, they're always putting the right tackles into the left tackle depth chart slot, and they do it with everything. You know, the right tackle and the right guard are in the left tackle and left guard spots, and the left guard and left tackles are in the right guard and right tackle spot. You know, that's something that's got to be fixed and taken out as well. I like to be able to import just more than the sliders in Dynasty mode. You can import the sliders so that for your like your player skill and CPU skill and things like that. But I also be able like to import like area like if you set something for Dynasty mode, I'd like for you to be able to, you know, put in like, you know, if it's, you know, like anything like your time. If you want to play 15 quarters with an accelerated clock that accelerates to 15 seconds, right? Then you should be able to import that from the play now from your regular settings and your regular profile into the dynasty profiles and slash settings. I like to be able to, you know, to do that. Okay, what's now? I know I play different than most people. Most people play in that view where you play behind behind the quarterback. And if you want to play like that, that's fine. I don't play like that. I play in broadcast view because that's how you watch football. So for me, if you watch football from the broadcast view, you should play football from the broadcast view. But what both Madden and college football is doing this, something like that, when you kick off or when you punt, right? They go back to like that view. It's almost like I think it's the all 22 cam. They go back to the all 22 cam where it's no. Let's kick off and let's punt from broadcast view. Let's go ahead and let's do that. Some more dynasty stuff here. Protected opponents. This is an addition that I think is great. I think it's wonderful. The only thing is that I think they have to figure out another way to do this because the way I've been seeing the protected opponents, it only comes down to the protected opponents in your conference. It's not in other conferences. So, for instance, if you're USC, you can only protect the opponents that are in the Big Ten. So you know, so you can't. So you protect UCLA, right? You can't protect Notre Dame. At least I haven't been able to see it. I don't know. I don't know if there is. I don't know the stuff that I've done to like move stuff around and make other things different. I've only been able to protect one protected opponent. Now maybe if there's the way out there to protect 2 protected opponents, because that's the most you can protect is 2. Then maybe you could do 1 inside and then 1 from another place. Okay, if you can do that, that's fine. But when you only can do 1 protected opponent, it's only from that conference. So I can't have my protected opponent from USC be Notre Dame. Or if I move Notre Dame into like the Big 12, I can't protect the protected opponent be USC, and that needs to change. You should be able to protect your opponents from everywhere. So if you want to move Notre Dame to the Big 12 and move USC back into the Pac-12, USC and Notre Dame will still play. Now, as you speak of that, to kind of take off of that, those protected opponents goes into that goes into the schedule that you make, right? Then you can do your custom schedules, which is fine, and so then you end up with like a locked schedule, right? And you can so when you do it, you put in a conference, you have to be only to play those teams that are in your conference or in your division. If you edit the conference to have divisions and things like that, and that's fine. But I'm asking to have the ability to be able to switch the games, so that if you do rebuild, so if you do put back the Pac-12 and you have USC in the Pac-12, there might be an occasion where you have USC and where you might end up with USC and UCLA, which should be like one of the final games of the season, playing in week 4, and it's locked. So yeah, okay, so it's locked. It should be locked with the face that you can't change, that opponent. But what shouldn't be locked is to be able to switch so you can switch it from going from week 4 down to week 13 or 14, whatever you need to be. Because it's a rivalry game, and that's where most of the games are. It's rivalry week, and that's where it should be put at. It should be put as the last game of the season, or second to last if we're going to do Notre Dame. So we got to be able to switch the placements of those games. That should be again not changing the opponent, because you've already done that. But and once you do those custom conferences, or keep it the same, then yes, you should be able to switch the places around. You shouldn't have to be an independent. And even if you're independent, like Notre Dame, that still should be the same case. You'd be able to switch the places of the games. So I think that's something to do. And again, going back to custom conferences, you can't disband a conference. And I think something that I think you should be able to do, because I think that's going to be coming up within the next decade. I think conferences like the Mountain West Conference, they've already gotten rid of the WAC. The WAC conference, the WAC is gone. The teams that were in the WAC conference have gone into the Midwest Conference. Midwest Conference. Mountain West Conference, excuse me. They're in there. So they got rid of the WAC. So you should be able to disband a conference. If you want to, and not just independents, you should be able, if you want to disband the American Conference, or you want to disband the Conference USA Conference, or whatever. That's what you should be able to do. As much as we should be able to change the conferences and add in select conferences, you should also be able to disband a conference as well. So that we should be able to have that one, and even like have the thing come up. Okay, so removing these teams will disband the conference. Do you actually want to do that? Yes and no. Then you can select yes, and then bam, it disbands. Because right now you can once you get down to 4 teams, You can't go any lower. So that should be the thing. So once you, so what you should do is that once you take away that 15, saying moving this 15 will disband the Mountain West Conference. Teams will go into the independents. Those the rest of the teams will go into independence. Do you want to do that? Yes or no? So you can select yes or no, and bam, the conference is disbanded. That's the way it should be. So I think there's that. And I think the biggest thing for Dynasty, I think, is the edit playbook, and this also has to kind of do with the play now stuff and everything like that. So they've added all of these many players and many formations and things like that, and it's lovely and wonderful, and it's a joy. But I think here's the thing that I do, and I've said this, and I want this in Madden, and we may get this in Madden. So if once I get Madden and I take a look at the play sheets and see what the play sheets are, then I may actually have the play sheets go into college football. But what I want to do is I want to be able to edit the playbook that I choose. So again, right, if I'm doing a dynasty with Notre Dame, which I will be doing, and Notre Dame has a specific playbook, right? So what I should be able to do is hit is when I'm at that scheme page, it's scheme thing where it tells you the scheme of the offense and defense, and then the playbook of the offense and defense. So if I want to edit the playbook, the Notre Dame playbook, I should be able to hit triangle. That should say edit playbook. I hit triangle, and then it goes into that creative playbook type of scene that you get when you're creating the playbooks, in non-dynasty mode, in the play now mode. And I should be able to go in there, and I should be able to add plays information or remove plays informations as I want to edit the playbook, right? So they get the Notre Dame playbook, and I see it. You know what? The spread, and it's a power spread formation. So yeah, so there's a lot of power spread formations, a lot of power spread things. Yeah, I think all of this is nice. But you know what I really would like to do? I want to play power football. I just want to be able to play power football sometimes. On second and 1, third and 1, even fourth and 1. I just want to be able to put my quarterback under center, give me a fullback or two, and running back, and just run power O. So guess what? I should be able to edit that playbook, go in there, find power I, the power I formation, and add the plays from that formation to the playbook, so that I can play power football. I would like to see that. Or if I'm running the air raid, let's add more plays, add more passes, add more fun, so that we can have more formations to choose from. All of that stuff. Or if I want to take a play that this play does not work, so remove the play, even maybe remove the formation, and add some more to it. So I think that's the biggest thing for Dynasty, is for them to be able to edit the playbook. Now, again, Madden has coming out with these things called these play sheets. Now, I really want to see how these work, because if these play sheets work, then I would say if these play sheets are stuff. Apparently, you can add these play sheets, and the plays in these play sheets will be added to your formation for the game during franchise mode, so that you can choose like a play sheet and choose plays from that. Because I want the same thing for Madden as well. Be able to edit a playbook or not. if I want to add some of the Miami Dolphins cheat motion stuff or things like that, or double motions or whatever, I should be able to do that. Same thing here with college football. So we'll see how the play sheets work, and maybe I'll be asking for that to edit playbook. But I want to edit the playbook. I want that. And then how you would do it is once you edit the playbook, you can once you save it, you can have a little asterisk by it to let you know that that is the playbook that you edited. So even if you want to go to another playbook for something, you can still come back to your edited playbook. So I think that's the way to do that, and that goes same thing for the defensive playbook as well. I think you can do that there, and then also or even if you feel like if the developers feel like that might be too much, that might be able to something like that or anything like that, then just give us the ability to create a playbook from scratch. From the Play Now screens, and bring those into right now. Because right now you can create a playbook, but you can't bring it into an offline dynasty. I think maybe in an online dynasty you can, but you can't do it with an offline dynasty. You'd have to to be able to use those playbooks in your dynasty. You have to be able to do it from the screen where you get the two helmets at. Where it's showing you the game that you're about to play. You can choose your uniforms and that screen. Yeah, then you can choose the playbook from there. But maybe I don't want to go through all that. And sometimes you forget. You just want to click and play. So be able to do that from the schemes screen in the coaches in the coach settings. So one of those two options need to be added. Actually, or maybe even both options should be added to Dynasty mode. So, I think those are what I would say the cons of this game. And that seems like a lot, but it isn't. There's a few things there. Now let's talk about the pluses or the pros of this game. Okay, so now some of the pros to this beautiful game. The snow, I mentioned it earlier, I think it looks great. I love the fact that they've added the snow to it. They've improved the snow. Amazing. The wear and tear auto subs are, that's just a given. So that you can set up when, how you want it, if you want your players to stay on the field and play through, some not injuries, but play through some pain. I think that's great. Or if you want, to keep it fresh or anything like that, I think that's good. Again, I like the fact that when you go into Dynasty mode, you can do the autos. You can also the auto subs are not only wear and tear, but there's also fatigue. And I think that's great too. I've always had like a problem with the auto subs. I just didn't think you could have it was never really almost like a true thing with auto subs. But I think now maybe with not wear and tear, the auto subs and things like that, you can have more of a real type of rotation, like a defensive line rotation or anything like that. So I think that's good. And speaking of subs, the sub menu, bringing up the subs on the field where you can just hit the up on the D-pad and the sub screen come up. I think that's a total game changer, and it has helped sometimes as well. Also, I think one of the things one of the problems I had with college football 25 was that when you were blowing out teams, the subs sometimes would just automatically come in, and I didn't care for that. But now with that sub, you can, if you want to take out your quarterback or your running back, you can do that now. So I like that. The stunt menu. Now there are plays in a regular defensive playbook that has some stunts in it. But now if you hold down that button, that play is, you can now bring up a stunt menu, and it has all different types of stunts, and I think that's incredible. I love that as well. We talk about the record-breaking moments. That's a great addition to the game. New celebrations, and now you can take your player wherever you want to, and then it triggers a thing, or you can also hit like the button like R1 and up on the R stick or whatever to bring up celebrations. I even saw on TikTok, and apparently they put the quote unquote Trump dance in the game. If you're a big fan of Bill Maher, you know what I'm talking about. It's the thing where it looks like he's he's kind of jerking off two guys, as Bill Maher would say. But they even get that in the game. Amazing. No huddle. This is a big game changer too. Because if you want to do a no huddle, now when you bring up no huddle, you can bring up the full playbook. So even if you're like in I form, you can change the formation, and it's just shotgun off trips week, and it goes into that. And I think that's great. I think that's great as well. It doesn't still do it for tempo. I think tempo is the one that I think that really is. But I think I even said that last year, that I think if you're gonna do tempo, maybe it's just all of the plays that are in that formation. When it comes down to tempo, all the plays in that formation come up, and you can just select one of those plays. But like no huddle, you should be able to select the entire playbook. And I think I like that. And something I also seen is that sometimes sometimes the receivers will make a comeback to the ball. So if you do like a curl route, so sometimes in past games they would run the curl and just sit there. And if you were late, or if the defensive back was his eyes in the backfield, he could time it and he could jump that curl route and knock the ball away or get a pick. Now, to keep that from happening, the wide receiver runs and kind of jumps to catch the ball. Not only does he curl, but now he comes back to the ball so that there can be no jumping the route. I think that's a fantastic piece of ingenuity to this game as well. And overall, again, just the way this game is played, I think is just truly amazing. I love the new recruiting thing where it gives you like your needs, like what will be the needs of the of your team the next season. I love that because I was like, this 25 and I would be recruiting. I'm like, but what do I need for next year? And I still just end up, I would just end up like putting like at least one or two on all of the formations, just to be sure that I'll have something for next year. But now with these needs are perfect. And things like that. And I know they've changed the whole recruiting, but I'm doing the same recruiting that I did last year. So I think, and some people might say that's a minus. They didn't change the recruiting. They say they did it and it didn't. But again, I'm playing the game a little different. I'm just still doing the recruiting that I did last year, and it seems to be working. I'm still getting lots of recruits, and I'm still getting lots of things, and lots of players, recruiting coming to my crew. Like I've already played like in my Miami dynasty. I've already got like 8 or 9, 10 recruits, which is great after playing 6-7 games. So I think for me it's still working the same. So But and that's okay with me. I didn't need recruiting to be harder than it already is. You know, now once I get to the whole transfer portal, that's something that I'm really waiting to see. You know how that has changed. But yeah, adding the needs for your recruiting is tremendously. Um, so yeah, I still think you know, for at least for me, the best way to do it is just to continue just to, well, no, let me just say this, because they also done it now by location. Like, anytime you wanted to bring somebody in, it was always 40 hours. Now, the closer you are, the better, to your thing. You get 10, you get 15, so 20 and 25. It's not even 30. So, the closer the recruits, the less hours it will be. And that's also another game changer. That leaves you more hours to recruit the guys who are farther away. And I love that. So I also love the fact they've added like little notifications to kind of let you know that they are ready to come for a visit. So I think that's great as well. And you get like the up and down thing. They've gone up this week, but then they've gone back this week. Yeah, it's truly amazing what they've done with this game. And the little touches that they've added that have made this an almost perfect game. So let's get ready to end this review right here. So like I said at the beginning, but I'm going to make this a very easy thing. It's 4 3/4 stars. This game. It's an amazing game. It's fun. Don't listen to the haters because they're just hating. They're trolling. they're trolling just to either troll, or that's the way that they make their content and make their money, by being negative. But this game is a fun game, and if you have not bought it, go buy it. Have some fun with this. Same thing with Madden. I ain't even got Madden, but I already tell you, it's going to be a fun game. The additions to Madden are going to be amazing. Go get Madden. Pre-order Madden if you already haven't, and then get College Football 26. Great game, absolutely amazing, and have a great year. Have a great over the next year. Have a great time playing this wonderful, beautiful game that EA Sports has made for us. Thank you guys so much for watching. Post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys, let me know what you guys thought of my review of of College Football 26. Are there any things that you think, that any pros that I didn't mention, or any cons that I didn't mention that you want to add? Put it down in the comment section. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching. This is your boy AJTRIP signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there, and I am out.